Hi everybody, welcome back. So the main thing that I want to talk about is the idea of what will you do with your pain? One thing that was really impressed on me when I was going through my darkest of times was the idea that it was all for something. It was not just happening. It was not just something that I was the victim of. It was happening so that something else could happen later that was going to be bigger. When you're in the thick of it, it's really easy to get lost in the idea of being the victim and thinking that nothing else is ever going to be the same and everything is going to be terrible for the rest of your life. I've been there more times than I care to admit. But the truth of it is that pain is never wasted. Pain is never something that is going to happen without reason. And sometimes when we're going through it, we have no idea what the reason is. Sometimes we think very consciously through the whole thing, wow, this is happening so I can do X, Y, and Z later. But I'd probably go so far as to say for most of us, it is not something that we know what's going to happen with it later. I remember one time when I was a little kid and I was just playing around on the piano and I was playing some very sad songs on the piano. And my mom walked by me and she said this quote. I tried to find it and I don't know what it is, so if I do find it, I'll let you guys know. But the quote was something to the effect of music or art or creativity, something like that, flows from a broken heart. And that was something that has really followed me over the years and something that I always think of whenever I'm going through a really tough time as like, what can I make from this? What can I turn this into that is better than what I had before? I was listening to a meditation years ago and they were talking about feeling the pain in your body, feeling how it is not solid. It is not a tangible thing that you can actually put your finger on and feel. And at the time, I had massive swollen joints. My pain was so real in my life. You could see the red, you could feel how hot it was to the touch. I felt like I had tangible pain. But when I did this guided meditation, I was laying in bed and I realized the pain would throb and it would get worse and then it would ease and it would get worse again. And then sometimes it was like my body got tired of feeling it and it wouldn't feel it anymore. And then other times it was like my body was all revved up, ready to feel it again. But it kept changing and it was very fluid. And I think that goes for emotional pain too. I think that when we feel anxiety and depression, it's a moving target. We are not always able to put our finger on it. It is not something that is this right now is hurting me. It is something where it's more of a ambient cloud that ebbs and flows. And so that's something to think about too. And that is something that really followed me through my worst of times there. So along with this idea that pain is not wasted, that also made me think of the idea that energy is never created or destroyed. And if you compare pain to energy, I think it's a good match. And if you think of that idea of energy and putting your energy into different spaces, then it brings you back to the idea of what are you going to do with your pain? Are you going to store it up and sit on it and wait for it to become stagnant? Are you going to blow it all out so that other people can feel it too? Are you going to keep it in the closet, pretend it isn't there? Or are you going to turn it into something better, something different, something that you didn't even see coming, something that no one saw coming? Pain is not against you. Pain is your fuel. Pain is a reason for something bigger later, or honestly, something bigger now. I cannot tell you how many people reached out to me when I was sick and I got to connect with them on a level that I never would have unless I was in the situation I was in. I was bedridden and disabled and depressed and frustrated, and still my pain was not wasted. I was still able to ease other people's pain through just being in pain myself. Not even anything that I said, just the fact that I was, and they knew that they were not alone, and I knew that I was not alone. So my challenge to you this week is to ask yourself, what pain are you going through right now? And how can you turn it into the best thing that's ever happened to you? How can you feel it as something that is not tangible, as something that is not firm or solid or even against you? It's just there. How can you make it greater? Life was never meant to be easy. And somewhere along the way, we were taught or we figured out or we decided that it should be. And so if you view life as the suck that absolutely everybody has to go through anyway, Why not make it awesome? Why not make it your own? Why not break out into something completely brand new? I am so excited for all you guys, and I absolutely love hearing about what people turn their pain into. Well guys, that's all I have to say this week. Thank you so much for watching, and like and subscribe if you will. Leave a comment, and I'll talk to you guys next time.